Hi everyone, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer, and today I'm here with one of my favorite cases for the iPhone 14 Pro, the Mous Limitless 5.0. So Mous has made some significant improvements from previous generations. We now have greater grip on the sides due to these rippled grip ribs. You also have a better texture overall, and we have significantly improved buttons. Mous has brought back the microfiber lining on the interior. They had this a few generations ago, but removed it last generation, so it's great to see that back. And we still have the super protective AeroShock material running around the perimeter here. That's that green stuff. This is what is going to give your phone mouse level protection. So today we're going to be looking at the Aramid Fibre version of the Mous Limitless 5.0, as well as the Walnut and the brand new Silver Pearl. Got some really great cases here. Let's get started. Taking a look at the construction of the Limitless 5.0, here in the Aramid Fibre version, this case has a very pleasant feel in the hand. It's not particularly light or particularly heavy, somewhere in the middle, so very little flex to this. This has quite a rigid feel. We also have a new interlocking frame design to improve protection this year. Another interesting thing about this case is that we have camera rim protection on 3 sides and not 4. So there is no rim here on the 4th side. They did this in order to improve MagSafe accessory compatibility for the 14 Pro because the 14 Pro has such a large camera. Looking in the interior, we have this lovely soft microfiber lining, very gentle against the back of your phone. Of course, the case is MagSafe. And then you do have this AeroShock material running around the perimeter. That's this cool green stuff. This is what gives Mous cases their extreme protection. Exactly how extreme this is, we don't know because Mous does not publish any drop height ratings on its website. However, they do have some really impressive drop videos. Size-wise, if you're going to compare it with something like your Apple silicone case, it's going to be a little bigger, but not hugely. It's a little bit taller, a little bit wider, a little bit thicker, but it's certainly not a massive difference, and I think that you can expect it's going to provide significantly greater protection than the Apple silicone case. Putting your phone in this case is not difficult. You're going to want to start on your left-hand side. Make sure that the top and the bottom corners are in place. And then go over to the right-hand side and clip on those corners. Once on, we've got a nice tight fit on here. Everything feels really good. You've got a little tiny bit of give over your buttons and a slight amount over the port openings, but overall, I think we've got an excellent fit on here. As far as the amount of lip is concerned, this has a classic Mous lip, meaning that you have a low lip in the middle and a high lip at the bottom and the top. So this gives you a slimmer feel in the hand overall, as well as a nicer swipe from side to side because you're not hitting a high lip there. But it's also going to give you sufficient protection for your screen because you have that lip on the top and the bottom. So looking down here at our port openings, we've got symmetrical port openings for an asymmetrical port design, which is not optimal. Purists are always going to want asymmetrical port openings to match the asymmetrical design, but it's not a big deal for most people, I don't think. And overall, I think everything looks good here. You should be able to fit many third-party lightning cables, although, of course, this case does support both regular Qi wireless charging as well as MagSafe charging, so you might find you're using that functionality less than you otherwise would. So going around to the sides here, you can see you've got a spot here for a wrist strap. You've also got one on the other side, so you can use these with a wrist strap. You can also use them with Mous's new crossbody straps. So Mous has not sent one of those out to me. I just saw it on their website, but it does look cool. It attaches on both sides, so if you're a crossbody fan, that's something you might want to check out. So going up the sides here, you can see we have a significantly greater amount of texture here on the sides. And then we also have these rippled grip ribs. Those are new this year. So these are going to give you significantly more grip than you had in previous generations of Mous's cases. These are still not super grippy. They're definitely going to slide very easily in and out of your pockets and handbags and all of that. But they are going to feel more secure in the hand. So definitely not like a silicone grip or a rubbery grip or anything like that, but it's also not super slippery. So going up here to our buttons, we no longer have a slit button design like we had in previous generations of mouse cases. You now have a floating button design. So that is great. Everything works really well. They're very responsive. They do have a very small amount of button shake. You mostly notice this before you put your phone in the case. Once it's in there, it is there, but it's very, very slight. And then looking here at your mute switch opening, everything works really well there, no issues. This is plenty big for most people. And then looking here at the view from the top, again, you can see we've got this classic mouse lip design here with your high lip at the top and the bottom, low lip in the middle. Of course, I have a tempered glass screen protector on here. If I didn't have this on here, you would have more visible lip. But even with it, you still have enough lip even in the middle. Just a little tiny bit of lip here in the middle should give very good protection for your phone. And going over here to our side button, again, we have the same excellent button on here, no slit button design, very nice and responsive, a tiny, tiny bit of button shake, but very, very little. And then we have more grip ribs here at the bottom. Looking at the back of the case, we've got this beautiful Aramid fiber on here. It has a wonderful look and feel, almost a velvety feel underneath the fingertips. So for those of you that are not familiar with Aramid fiber, it's basically generic Kevlar, so the same stuff they use in bulletproof vests. It's a very protective material to have on a phone case, and it's going to be great against impact and scratching, but not so good against fingerprints. Greasy fingerprints and smears are going to show up on this, so be aware of that. Looking at the bottom, we got some mouse branding down here, relatively noticeable if you are branding averse. Overall though, really nice look and feel here, very slim. So looking at our camera protection, we have camera protection on 3 sides and not 4. So it's this way to maximize compatibility with MagSafe accessories. And if you put this flat on a table, you do have lay on the table design, but just barely. So you have just a tiny amount of lip. As long as you put your phone down on a flat surface, the lenses are not going to touch, but you do not have that 4th side, so be aware of that. As far as wireless charging is concerned, this is going to work great with regular Qi wireless chargers, and being a MagSafe case, it's going to work great with Apple's MagSafe charger as well. So we've got nice, strong magnets in here, very nice magnetic connection. You're going to be able to use this with other MagSafe accessories, such as MagSafe wallets. Great job here with Apple's MagSafe wallet. You got a nice connection. Mous also has their own MagSafe wallet. This one's got a 2-card capacity, and it's got silicone dots on the back, so it's got a nice amount of grip to it. This, of course, is also going to work great, and I think it's got a better grip on it than Apple's wallet. And finally, of course, you're going to be able to use this with MagSafe power banks. I'm loving this one from ESR. It's got a nice little stand. Everything works great. Removing this case from your phone is a little bit harder than putting it on, but not that difficult. You're going to want to start in your top right-hand corner and push off that corner. Then go down to the bottom, push that one off, and then pull out your phone. So checking out the lovely silver pearl version of the Limitless 5.0, this material here is actually something called cellulose acetate. So it has a smooth feel underneath the fingertips, but it looks like it has a pebbled texture to it. It actually doesn't. It's perfectly smooth, but there's almost a depth to it. So this is made of organic materials that are processed in a particular way so that each one of these cases is actually unique. They all have a similar look, but the exact appearance is always going to be just a little bit different. So really interesting. The rest of the case is going to be the same. You got the same frame, same lining or whatever. The only difference is the appearance of the back plate. So checking this out on the phone. Again, not a hard phone case to get on. Once on, you've got the same fit and all that. So your sides are going to be the same. Port openings are going to be the same. Got those same nice areas here for a wrist strap or to use with the new crossbody strap that Mous came out with. Same amount of lip around the screen. Looking at the back of the case, this silver pearl variant is absolutely striking. I think it looks best on a silver iPhone, but it looks great on a gold iPhone as well. So we've almost got a look of depth here, but it has a smooth feel underneath the fingertips. It does not seem to be very much of a fingerprint magnet, but I'm not sure how this is going to hold up over time in terms of scratching, but it does look beautiful, really stunning, really unique. Of course, this is going to have the same MagSafe performance as we saw with the Aramid Fibre version, so no issues with using this with Apple's MagSafe charger. That's all going to work great. You have a nice amount of magnetic connection here. You're also going to be able to use this with wallets and things like power banks, no problems. But just to give you a look here at the amount of space you have at the bottom of the camera area and the top of this power bank here from ESR, you can see there's not a lot of space. It does fit fine, no problem. This is a really good fit here with this power bank. However, this particular power bank will not only work in a portrait mode, it also works in landscape mode. And when you move it to landscape mode, you can see very clearly why they wanted to do away with this bottom rim. Because if there were a bottom rim here, this would absolutely not fit. As it is, it fits fine, works great. But if there were a camera rim there, this was going to be a no-go. So I think that this is why Mous chose to go this route. Finally, looking at the walnut variant of this case, so this is genuine wood that has been inset into this mouse case. So this is a great option if you love the look and feel of wood, but you also want a protective case. So very nice. This is one of 2 wood variants available. The other one is a bamboo. Putting this on the phone, again, not difficult. Same fit as what we looked at before, same high bottom and top lips. Same nice rippled grip ribs here on the side. Buttons are still excellent. And then looking at the back, I love the way this warm brown walnut looks with my gold iPhone. I think it's a really great combo. So as far as fingerprints and scratching are concerned, I think that this material is going to be pretty good against fingerprints, but again, scratching, I think you have to be a little bit careful with this because the wood is going to be a bit more delicate. But it does have a great look, nice organic feel to it. And again, you're going to have the same good wireless charging and MagSafe charging performance with this. No issues with your MagSafe charger. Good strong magnets on here. And because you have that MagSafe accessory friendly design on your camera rim, you're going to be able to use this with most MagSafe accessories without any issues. Again, we've got another power bank on here, this one by Anker. And as you can see, it comes very, very close here to your camera. So it's a good thing that we don't have that bottom rim on there because otherwise I'm not sure it would fit. So all in all, I think we've got some really great cases here. I'm really appreciating all the changes that have been made to the iPhone 14 Pro version of the Limitless 5.0. Loving the fact that we now have greater texture on the sides as well as those lovely rippled grip ribs, and the fact that we have better buttons on here is also greatly appreciated, even though they may come with a little bit of button shake. And I love the fact that we now have the microfiber lining back. I think that this gives a much more luxe, much more polished feel. So those are all definitely positives. Downsides of these cases may be the reduced camera rim on here, even though the lack of a 4th side of the camera rim does increase the amount of MagSafe accessory compatibility you have. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And also, some people might find that the edges here are not rounded enough on the back because they're relatively square. So for some people that might not feel as comfortable in the palm, so that's definitely something to consider. But overall, I do think that these are really great cases, and they're going to provide excellent protection for your iPhone 14 Pro with a nice slimline look and feel. Again, we've been looking at the Mous Limitless 5.0 for iPhone 14 Pro. This product is available directly from Mous and is priced at $64.99 for the Aramid Fibre version that we looked at today. That's the most expensive. All the other variants are $59.99. So that's going to be the lovely Silver Pearl and Walnut that we looked at, as well as another genuine wood version. That's the Bamboo. Then there's also a genuine leather in black. And then there's finally something called speckled fabric, which, if you're curious, is the grippiest of all of Mous's cases. You can save 15% on all of these prices by using the affiliate link you'll find in the description below. So definitely check that out if you're interested in a Mouse case. Many thanks to the kind folks at Mous for sending me out these samples to review. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And do consider hitting that subscribe button. Again, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.